Yo, go up, and yo, come up, and.
And so Gruntilda the Witch has stolen Tootie's looks and made herself beautiful, thereby giving everybody in the world orgasms at every sight of her in the process. The end. Wait, this isn't really the end, is it? Oh, shit! Hey everybody, it's Hylian Alchemist, and welcome back to Let's Play Banjo-Kazooie. In the last episode, we set off on our adventure, and we did the entirety of Mumbo's Mountain, and in this episode, we're going to go further into the lair. That door was easy, you got past. Unfortunately, you're first and last. Oh, thanks. Anyway, we have a new character here. This here is Gruntilda, and she's Gruntilda's nicer sister. Basically, what she does is that for each time you talk to her, you'll find her everywhere, well, almost everywhere in the lair. Make sure you go ahead and talk to her, because for each of the 3 times that you speak to her, what she'll do is that she'll just tell you every single one of Grunty's disgusting secrets, which we really don't need to know about. However, it's actually essential for us because at the very end of the game, which I'm not going to spoil yet, we're going to be needing those kind of secrets for something in order to get through that one kind of challenge. And they'll probably be, or they'll probably want some about those secrets, so make sure you go ahead and write those down. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking like, oh, I mean, this wouldn't be so hard. I mean, all we gotta do is just look up on the internet, right? Well, unfortunately, no. Because guess what, guys? Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of those instances in which every time you actually start up a new file, the answer is completely randomized. Yeah, so don't think they're going to be exactly the same as you're seeing now in my file, because whenever you start playing Banjo-Kazooie and you start talking to her, the answers may be different. You'll start wondering why they're not the same. Well, it's because they're completely randomized, so like it doesn't have a set word. Every time you start up a new file or just play the game, they all just go at random. So you really want to make sure you take notes for these. Just write these down. Just like talk to her right here and just write those down. So if you're thinking to just use my video as a guide, just write them down. It really does sound quite absurd. Adventure of a bear and bird. Wow, thanks for interrupting, Grunty. I was actually in the middle of explaining, but you just go and interrupt me. Thank you. So yeah, don't think you can just use these videos as a guide just to look those up for later on, because that's not going to work like that. So just make sure you write those down, because, you know, the answer is going to be different depending on your game. I know I said that plenty of times. I can't help it. I tend to repeat myself a lot. But, you know, I guess it's kind of more emphasis. So bring your pen and paper out and just write them down. So you're gonna need that, especially for something which is beneficial to you, for you to go through. Anyway, so what I just unlocked right there, down the stairs, see those cauldrons? Those are basically warp cauldrons. Did I say warp? Okay, well, I guess there's a new word I've suddenly made up that has no meaning to it whatsoever, so it's kind of pointless in a way. Anyway, I'm just talking out of my ass here. What those warp cauldrons do is that, what you do is that you actually have to find the cauldron of the same exact color. And once you find one of the same color, then you can actually fast travel between the layer itself. So and they're very much and they're kind of like oh, how should I put it? I guess well, basically fast travel is all I should say. So yeah, make sure you unlock those warp cauldrons, that way there you can be able to take shortcuts and just, you know, basically do some fast traveling, like, you know, basically like teleportation. Anyway, so here we are in Treasure Trove Cove, and ooh, yeah, there's that one asshole thing they did right there. Placing a Jinjo right under the right under the pier right here, because every time you jump to the water, did he seriously just clip through that that beam under the dock? Okay, wow, I guess he must be that determined. Yeah, that was Snacker. So, yeah, you really try to be careful just swimming into the water in the ocean. I mean, you're probably gonna have to do so, but whenever you do that, then Snacker will start chasing after you, and he'll try to bite you. Therefore, of course, taking damage. So you want to be careful. Just try to swim, or I guess jump as fast as you can, in order to try to get past him, just like basically avoiding pursuit. Even though sometimes it may work, but you know, sometimes it not. I mean, sometimes it doesn't. Ugh. Man, I'm doing pretty good at my grammar here, aren't I? This here is Captain Blubber, and he, as you can probably hear by now, he talks entirely of burps. Gross. So basically, apparently his ship crashed, and so he lost all his gold. Somebody must not be very careful of just keeping his money. So we gotta go look for him, or look for the gold, of course. And of course, very ironically, another right inside his ship. And yeah, I guess he kind of gave a good excuse, or basically he just couldn't swim here. Anyway, so yeah, like I was saying, there's yeah, here we're on Treasure Trove Cove. Treasure Trove Cove. I'm speaking way too fast to the point that I'm talking gibberish here. I do apologize for that. I gotta do like this level though. I mean, I like the music. You know what? I never even got to mention the music here, guys. People, Grand Kirkhope. Like, seriously, it's just legendary. I mean, you know, whenever any kind of certain music, kind of music I want to listen to, I listen to Grant Kirkhope's pieces. Because, my god, the man himself is legendary. He is a legend. And, you know, I mean, to those of you, like, pretty much every single one of the Banjo-Kazooie fans out there, like, if you hear Grant Kirkhope, you know, like, they all know exactly who he is, because that man is a legend. And, you know, he makes some damn good songs that I can just listen to over and over again without ever getting bored. And so, therefore, the soundtrack of Banjo-Kazooie, the Banjo-Kazooie series is just phenomenal. It's just, you know, the stuff of legends. Grant Kirkhope is no exception. So, yeah, I mean, if you want good music, you gotta listen to those. It's just so goddamn good. Grant Kirkhope, you are the man. You, sir, are the man. Anyway, so, yeah, I know. I'm pretty much spending the entirety of this LP just fanboying way too much. I know, I am. I just can't help it. I just love the series to death. So, don't judge me. Anyways, so these right here are the red feathers, and they are basically essential for the next move that we are just about to learn right now. And this is where Kazooie, at long last, finally learns to fly. So, as, of course, Bottles will go ahead and explain, see these little fly pads right there, those blue pads with the feathers? So basically, after you have to talk to Bottles first, and then you get to unlock them. So if you press A while you're standing on them, you actually get to take flight. And while you're flying, well, of course, well, first of all, you actually do need red feathers for that, of course, so, I don't think I actually demonstrate right now. There's that green Jinjo that's right there. Oh, yeah, you know what? This is something I keep forgetting about. I'm kind of used to how Super Mario 64 plays out. Like, you know how usually whenever, if you want to avoid taking fall damage, you usually just ground pound, like in a Super Mario 64? Yeah, you could try doing that in Banjo-Kazooie, yeah, you still take fall damage. When you try using the Beak Buster. I don't know why they just kind of leave that in there. It's kind of baffling, but... Anyway, here's Nipper. Boss time. Yeah, I mean, well, changing music, obviously. That Snippet right there almost attacked me, right? He followed me all the way around, and then right into the cutscene, and he's still following me. That persistent little shit. Anyway, so I guess we had no choice but to fight Nipper, because Kazooie decided to piss him off. You know, it's kind of funny, though, like... in the Banjo-Kazooie series, like, almost, like, none of the bosses are actually inherently evil in the series whatsoever. The only reason they attack is either they could be defending their territory, or Kazooie just decided to piss them off. That's probably the only excuse as to why we had to fight them. And it's just hilarious like that. I love Kazooie like that. Just make us having to go fight the bosses, all because she couldn't keep her damn beak shut. But of course, we just don't focus eyes out. Yeah, ready for everyone. Actually, you know, I say ready for everyone because, ladies and gentlemen, there will be a lot of instances in the Banjo-Kazooie series that, that is kind of something that they managed to get away with in a kid's game. Let me tell you this right here. Banjo-Kazooie is practically the king of getting crap past the radar. So, yeah, there will be instances in which you'll see some rather, kind of some context, well, stuff in context that kind of, goes out there. You know what I mean? So, yeah, Banjo-Kazooie is very much like that. So, get ready for those, and yeah, keep in mind, the game is rated E. So, there you go. Anyways, so I guess I kind of interrupted myself. I do that all the time, guys. So, yeah, by the red feathers, or the flight. So while you're flying, of course, you'll gradually descend down because, you know, I guess Banjo's just a little too fat. He's not exactly that fat, but just kind of, I don't know, maybe burly or something? Actually, he kind of does look, he looks burly in Smash Brothers, but, yeah, I'm going off topic here. So while you're flying, what you can do is that, if you press the A button, they actually ascend further. Of course, doing so will actually cost you red feathers, so keep in mind with that. And this right here is the shock jump pad, and of course, press A button on them, and then you'll basically just you'll just jump even higher, just as long as you stand those spring jumps. Or, I mean, just press and hold A, and then Kazooie will be able to jump much higher than before, and that way there you'll be able to reach places that you couldn't reach regularly. And for this one, is where we just take a shit on the bucket right here. And that way there, we can go inside, well, we could before, but it was all underwater, so we couldn't do anything in there. But now we can go inside the sandcastle. Now, the sandcastle right here is actually something that we're going to be remembering for later on. Because, well, I mean, not only for the fact that we're just here to do some sort of puzzle in order for us to get our next Jiggy, but it's actually going to be important for some other things, like some kind of certain special things that that we're going to be needing the castle for. But first off, what we're going to do for now is that basically for this mission is that this is actually the easiest one ever because we're just basically spelling out the title of the game, Banjo-Kazooie. It's so easy, it even says so right there on the wall. So, yeah, like, just 100% guaranteed. Of course, there's a time limit, but it's still no biggie either way, because it only takes you about, like, 100 seconds. So, yeah, you will never fail this one. Unless you decide to waste time just kind of diddly-daddling around. And there's this right here. And with that, now we can get the Jiggy. Of course, this blacksmith right here, yeah, we just complete your challenge, yet, even though we've completed your challenge, you want to kill us. And we also just freed you, too! You ungrateful little prick. Anyway, so I guess we got that done. Yeah, there's a Jiggy. Sweet. Also, I actually finally did remember what I was going to say. I meant to say this in the last episode, but it really slipped my mind. Basically, for one thing about collecting the Jiggies, and, shit, I forgot the other thing. Oh, before I do that, you see this island right over there? This is called Shark Food Island. This is another thing that we are definitely gonna remember. Like, you know, it may seem like a plain ordinary island that, of course, it's actually our last-ditch effort to just survive from being eaten by a shark. Hence the name Shark Food Island. But this is actually going to be some important stuff for later on, which we'll see very, very late in the game. I mean, it's not necessarily part of our... Excuse me, not necessarily part of our main quest, but it's important regardless, so... Anyways, oh yeah, actually, the other thing I actually do remember, but I'm going to start with the first one, so... Anyway, about collecting the Jiggies right here, And I am actually going to be doing a little comparison between this game and Super Mario 64. So, you've been seeing those a lot of times, but you remember how in Mario 64 where, like, every time you collect a Power Star, like, therefore doing a mission, you basically just jump out of the painting, and then you have to go back in. Like, it just takes you out of the course itself. And then you have to go back in to do the next mission. And, you know, that's kind of one thing that I kind of didn't like as much about it. This is also one thing I actually do like about Banjo-Kazooie more than Mario 64, is that if you collect a Jiggy, they don't make you leave the level, you just keep going. So, yeah. You just find a Jiggy and then, you know, just keep going. You don't have to worry about having to leave the level or being forced to leave the level. You just keep screwing around the worlds. And this is something that I'm really glad they did. It's definitely, like, you know, just the thing that it has over Mario 64. And there's our ending honey cookie, so of course we're gonna have to swim over to the ocean. You actually can kill Snacker just by of course shitting on him with those eggs. Of course, that's only temporary, and after a while, when I go back to the water, then he just respawns for some weird reason. So, no matter what you do, there is no escaping from him whatsoever. He'll chase you forever and ever, till the very end of time, unless you're in a safe place. Anyway, so there's that part I want to explain about the Jiggies. The other thing about those music notes and the Jinjos. Now, remember in the last episode when I said that collecting music notes and the Jinjos is a one-way thing for this world, and I also mentioned that this only applies to the N64 version. Yeah, there is a reason why I said the N64 version. For those of you who don't know already, there is actually a couple other ports of Banjo-Kazooie. Well, I would say 2 ports. There's the Xbox Live Arcade version for the on the Xbox 360, and there's the Rare Replay version for the Xbox One. In those versions, they actually changed those where the music notes and the Jinjos are now permanent collectibles. So yeah, there's that. So if you're playing those versions, then you really do not have to worry at all for having to do the whole collectathon all over again. Once you collect those music notes, they stay with you through and through. So yeah, they make those two where they're permanent. So it's a little less frustrating like that. And one thing I will say that like it is kind of improvement over that. But you know, I still play the N64 version regardless because, well, I guess I'm that much of a nostalgia whore. Now, I will say this, though, that Banjo-Tooie actually did go a long way to fix that kind of issue. Well, I mean, I would say that, like, after Banjo-Kazooie was made for the N64 and then they went straight to Banjo-Tooie, it actually is technically the first game to ever fix that kind of issue. And, of course, one thing I will say that, why I do personally think that Banjo-Tooie is a better game because of one of those aspects where they just made... Well, pretty much every single collectible there is, the important ones, just permanent collectibles, even the music notes themselves. So that's one thing I really am thankful for Banjo-Tooie for doing so. But I am also thankful for the Xbox Live Arcade version of Banjo-Kazooie fixing that as well. So yeah, there's those two things that got out of the way. So, I guess that's it for this video. So, next time on Let's Play Banjo-Kazooie, yeah, even unlike last time where I did the entirety of Mumbo's Mountain, because it was a very short level, starting with Treasure Trove Cove, I am, of course, splitting the, each of the levels in 2 halves, where I would just do a video of collecting the first 5 Jiggies, and then the other half of the video, or the second part of the level for another episode to collect the second half of the Jiggies, since there's like a total of 10 Jiggies in each of the world, and so I'd just be doing 50% of the video by just collecting the 5 Jiggies, so just put 2 and 2 together, and, do the math. But that's what it's going to be for this LP, so... Anyway, so with that said, next time on Let's Play Banjo-Kazooie, we're going to be collecting the rest of the Jiggies in Treasure Trove Cove, and of course, doing that one mission that you saw me doing with finding the treasure just by pounding on those X's, so... Yep, that's what we'll be doing. So until next time, see you guys later.